That's on my checklist that I haven't done is playing Tomorrowland main stage. So I think that's going to be a huge celebratory moment for me.
It's a huge milestone. I could barely watch Tomorrowland like on video, and now I'm here. It's unbelievable.
Farming is like really isolating, and then you kind of build that anxiety of like, I don't want to see people, so I kind of just need to like face my fears and just get out and do it.
I thought it would be incredible, but it's even more. It's so like breathtaking.
Just meeting him last year was another of those amazing things that music brought into my life.
Personally, to me, music means a release of stress. There will be good days, there will be bad days. Music can sometimes drown out the noise.
I just don't think about all the shitty stuff in my life when I'm dancing and having fun.
It's like the best high of all time is creating something you're proud of. The show is kind of the celebration of it all. My real name is John Schuster. And John Schuster is a pretty just normal kid from the Chicago suburbs. Had a very kind of just average, normal life. You know, I went to school for accounting and always loved music and was DJing throughout college and making music, but it was always just a hobby and a passion, something to really spark my creativity outside of school.
What up? It's John Summit, and today I'm going to teach you how to make tech house like the professionals in under 4 minutes.
And then I kind of created this John Summit character, and when I really put myself on the map was when I was doing shows every single night, doing these crazy parties, posting it all over the internet, and people think I'm like this crazy party guy, which can be true, but I really think it's a different character than John Schuster, where I'm kind of just the introvert at home, making music, working all day. The first few years of touring, I was doing like 250 shows a year. And I would just, you know, party, drinking every night, no sleep every single night, and you kind of lose your mind. It kind of mixed up John Summit and John Schuster into one, and I kind of lost sense of who I was a little bit. Now I'm pretty disciplined during the day. And then after working out, take all the calls, talk to management like you saw, talk to my agents about future shows. And then once I can get everyone to stop talking to me, then I work on music at night. So it's pretty 24/7, but I don't know, I like to work the business side of the brain and also the creative. The most prolific I ever was as a producer when I was still an accountant, because you're working like the business side all day. You get home, you just want to be creative and have fun. And so I kind of do the same thing now. I like to have a big, epic vocal moment that really commands the room. So I did that with Where You Are, I did that with Shiver, and I do it here with Silence as well. Because I love making a huge anthem, and when you kind of solo everything and have the huge arms in the air and everyone sings out, and then the builds I kind of have are kind of my signature touch. I don't really use big, huge synths on the drop too. I like to have the vocal carry with the energy, where I feel like EDM, like 10 years ago, would always be like a big synth, or like na 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 na. But I like to just carry on the song. To get to where I am, you have to have the non-stop studio nights of kind of being by yourself and holding yourself up. The first 6 years of producing, I didn't work with anyone else whatsoever, and kind of really perfecting my craft. But then when you're on stage, you gotta be an entertainer. So that's how I consider the at-home nerd John Schuster, and I'm in a duo with John Summit on stage. That's just kind of larger than life, kind of entertainer. So we're packing for my big trip to Europe. I'm terrible at folding. I used to say in interviews I quit accounting, but in reality I got kindly pushed out. You know, I got fired. Fuck this, I'm gonna go all out in music, basically until I run out of money. But it was always so fun though, because I mean, even if you do have the low points, just the knowing that if you make music, you can make something out of yourself was exciting to me. The reason why I've been able to cultivate such a strong community and fan base is that because I am so involved, when they're talking to me online or something, whether it's Discord, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, it's actually me. And then even on stage and stuff, I'm very interactive with fans and stuff, whether it's a 1,000-person club or 40,000-person stadium.
born in Finland, moved to Canada when I was really young. I had 2 kids. Live in Vancouver now. I had a really good life. I thought I was healthy, and in February I had one of the best times ever. I went and played hockey for the first time ever on a lake. I went dancing, and then on March 18th I woke up in an ambulance, just en route to the hospital, and they put me in a CAT scan, and they told me that I had a tumor, and I said, "Is it cancer?" And they said yes. So that was a shocker. It was tough.
Yeah, just heartbreaking. I don't know, sad.
They recommended surgery, but the surgery went wrong, and then they did a lot of damage, so they basically gave me untreatable epilepsy. So I came out of the operating room just having seizures again and again and again. I found it really difficult to talk. I lost my job, I lost being able to read, I lost music. I couldn't drive at night for years, even just passing a ambulance. I had to close my eyes and plug my ears, loud sounds, so that was hard. I thought, oh, I have epilepsy. You assume that doctors are gonna be able to fix it. They couldn't fix it. So yeah, my life was, I don't know, I was barely. Story. The doctor had told me that I would live between 7 and 9 years. And I'm at 9 years and 123 days. So yeah, I'm still here. It was baby steps to reconnect with the world. Yeah, slowly, I got my life back by trying various things. Yeah, one of my oncologists, I said, what do your successful patients do? He said that they get off the couch. They don't expect their doctors to save them. So I'm determined. And I just did everything I could to make my life better, just surviving for my children. I have 2, and they're my best friends, and they have been the key drivers of my survival, without a doubt. I couldn't listen to music for a very long time after my brain surgery, so I went in a progression to the strange new agey music that I would never listen to normally, and then classical, and then the Beatles, and finally EDM.
Yeah, I just had heard about this this big festival, and I don't know, I think I had just seen where she was, and even when was showing her videos and stuff, I think I kind of knew that she wanted to. So yeah, I figured I'd ask, and if it was too much, it was too much, but no harm in asking. So
then there was this reel on Instagram, and it said, I don't want to leave this world without going to Tomorrowland. Yeah, it was a chance that I was taking, but I'd come so far that, yeah, I thought, let's give it a try. It's a huge milestone. I could barely watch Tomorrowland on video, and now I'm here. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I just don't think about all the shitty stuff in my life when I'm dancing and having fun. But yeah, it's just soul-filling energy, happiness.
It's very quiet, very remote. I find a lot of people come up here for retirement, as most young people would move away and, you know, try city life where it's a lot busier. If they've finished college and that, they decide if they want to come back, or I find most folk don't really come back. There's not a lot of things for like young people to do, and it can be a bit boring, but it's really nice. You've got great views, you know, it's sea all around you, and it's like clean, fresh air.
Should we go to the farm, Sally? Hey, come on then.
So yeah, when I was younger, like I always wanted to be a farmer. You know, farming is very traditional in Orkney, and like I've always enjoyed it, just with working with animals, just, you know, with the machinery and stuff as well. Just something I was keen to do. It was my grandfather's and kind of generations before that, and they all ran it. I started properly when I was, yeah, kind of 15. That's when I wanted to like scale it up a bit bigger from there. Because Mum and Dad was like, oh, is this really what you want to do? And I was like, it is, and it's just grown and grown and grown from there. I have about 15 cattle and about 80 sheep at the moment. About 170 acres. We don't use it all, so we just take kind of what we need and then rent the rest out. Say it is a bit mental to be my age and having all of this, but you know, I always find if you enjoy it, do it. You only live once, you might as well. Music, it's definitely my one thing. Like, it just makes me feel like I can just be myself, you know. Music's just, I don't really let anyone else listen to my music, though. If it's mine only. It's very personal to me. I listen to a lot of techno music, sometimes country, but mostly techno. That's kind of, yeah, my first ever like big festival. I mean, I've been to like small like music things and all that, but nothing as large scale. When I go away, it's definitely like a break, and I can get away from like my stress, and I can just like almost like just be a child again and just do whatever and not have to worry about anything. I need to do it. I need to like just face my feelings, get it out the way and be comfortable, because I find like farming as well is like really isolating, and then you kind of build that anxiety of like, oh, I don't want to see people. So I kind of just need to like face my fears and just get out and do it.
Music helped me a lot with everything. Yeah, it's my passion, and I feel great every time I listen to music. My name is Ladislav Jezdinsky, but people call me Ladik, and I'm 33 years old. I have a pretty rare genetic disease called spinal muscular atrophy, and basically I am weaker. I think my parents realized that when I was 2 years old, I think. So I don't know anything else than this life, so I'm pretty used to it. I always wanted to have a pretty decent normal life like anybody else, and this was my goal for whole life, I think. When I was like 15, 18 years old, I discovered electronic music, EDM, and we were like, wow, this is amazing. Martin Garrix is my #1 DJ, and I follow him on many shows from 2017. It's like my drug, I think. I have to see Garrix once a year to be happy and okay. I think it's the way how he treats with his fans. He is so kind.
Happy to see you guys.
My first time meeting Martin Garrix was at Ushuaia in Ibiza. He was acting like we knew each other for a long time. He was so friendly. After that, he invited me to after party, and he was very incredibly kind about it.
No, go over to see you, man. Take care. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, he posted a photo of me, or my video of me, and of my tattoo as well. And it was really crazy because people were texting me like 100 messages per minute. I was so happy that someone noticed me, and I found many friends thanks to this moment. Everything clicked together, and I found confidence thanks to this, and I wasn't scared anymore to connect with people, talk to them. But what is most important for me is that I found my best friend, and since then we are doing every show basically together. I think it's hard to get here for anybody. So especially for me, it's almost impossible. I'm scared that something would go wrong. But when I finally saw the main stage, it was the moment when I told myself, everything is okay, you are here, and enjoy the moment with your family and friends first. I couldn't even imagine how spectacular it would be. I thought it would be incredible, but it's even more. It's absolutely breathtaking.
I remember coming into Dreamville with my friend, and as we were pulling out our luggage, we saw this sign where it said, oh, like, speed dating.
It's probably going to be very quick. But little did I know that something as 3 minutes interaction that we've had was going to turn into something this big.
The moment I looked into his eyes, the moment we started talking, and how genuine he seemed, how interested he was into having that conversation with me, I really liked that. So I gave him a match. And then he said, like, yeah, I'm also from Austin, Texas. I'm like, no way! Like, it was so crazy to find someone from the same town and in this side of the world.
In my mind, I thought, if I'm given the chance to see her again, I will make it happen.
We actually met in front of the main stage. We were dancing there. It's just Nikita and I together. There was a spark. The power of music, really. EDM has really impacted my life in many ways. Just meeting him last year was another of those amazing things that music brought into my life. I would really like my future to be with him because I feel like he's my person. So.
Today's a special day because I want to share this treasure case with my partner. And I hope today's the day that I present her this and ask for her hand. I hope she says yes.
In this wide wave, I am sinking in this silence. In this wide wave, in this silence, I believe.
La scène principale du festival Tomorrowland est donc la proie des flammes ce soir.
A massive fire took down the main stage at the Tomorrowland Music Festival days before it was set to start.
Massive plumes of black smoke billow into the air.
À des kilomètres à la ronde avec des flammes qui ravagent la scène principale, il ne reste rien aujourd'hui. Revellers in Belgium have kicked off this year's Tomorrowland Music Festival. Organisers had revealed it was a race against time to build a replacement stage after the main stage burnt down on Wednesday.
I was with my team. I think we were on a call with my team back in America, and then someone broke the news on the call, and then we saw it, and we were like, holy shit. I mean, if this was America, it probably would have taken us 6 months to rebuild, so the fact that we're still here is incredible. Tomorrowland has such an amazing community. I feel like it's the only festival that could pull that off and really get everyone together, so I didn't think this festival was going to happen, so the fact it's happening right now and everyone's here, like, this is the best.
I was in my friend's basement and we saw the recap video. I think it was the 2012 one. It was the most epic thing I've ever seen in my life. And I swear every kid who was into electronic music, whether you're a DJ or a fan, was a dream to go there. I have a rule with myself that if I want something, I actually won't even go to it. So like, I haven't even gone to the main stage at Tomorrowland yet. This is like the one thing that's on my checklist that I haven't done is playing Tomorrowland main stage. And so I think that's gonna be a huge celebratory moment for me. Mostly what I know in the music industry, I learned it all by making mistakes and doing the wrong things and correcting it and learning on my own. If you don't know any of the rules, you're not worried about breaking any of them. So I've done so many things that I'm sure other managers and agents are probably like, you're an idiot. But that's how I learned, you know? I'm just gonna keep trying to be better than the person I was yesterday. I always feel like it's just the start. If you don't feel like it's just the start, then what do you have to look forward to, you know?
To me, music means a release of stress. It helps you get through the day, get through the night, or the roller coaster of whatever happens in your life. It'll be full of emotions, good and bad. But music can sometimes drown out the noise.
I do think about how far I have come in the last 9 years, from watching a video and struggling to actually being here. It's crazy. When I was first diagnosed, I searched for hours and hours and hours of stories of people who have outlived their diagnosis. So now I'm one of those stories. So it's a story of hope, I think.